Well, hello there. Welcome to Ivy's Fortress. I'm Ashante, and I'm going to be reading The Boy Who Loved Maps by Kari Allen and G. Brian Carters. All right. Now, when I saw this book on the shelf, because it wasn't on the display, I thought, this would be a nice book to read. But I did think it said something different. It read something different. So when I picked it up and I saw The Boy Who Loved Maps, I was like, not what I thought it was, but I went with it anyway because you never know what a story could lead to. And when I read this the first time, I will say I had no idea how the outcome was going to turn out. So I really like this book, especially after reading it. I hope you like it too. It has a very interesting turn. And if you check it out at a local library near you or purchase it at a bookstore close to your home, you will see that there's ways that you will like it too. But we'll get to that closer to the end. For now, we're going to get our reading glasses on and we're going to get reading. Where can you find a place that is toes in the sand, wrapped up in a warm towel warm, full of hiding spots for hidden treasure, like your birthday, the first day of school, and Tuesday all at once? Join a young map maker and his new friend as they scout their neighborhood in search of this perfect place, so that they can make a map of it. Maybe you'll discover that it's closer than you think. Let's find out. The Boy Who Loved Maps by Kari Allen, illustrated by G. Brian Carters. There once was a boy who loved maps. He loved to collect them, he loved to study them, and most of all, he loved to make them. Some were small and fit into pockets. Some were large and filled up walls. He drew cities with their grid-like lines and countries with their squiggly borders, and the continents that held them both. He made maps of the faraway places he dreamed of going, two of the places and he read about in books. Everyone called him the map maker. One day, a girl came to see the map maker up in his treehouse. "Can you make me a map?" she asked. "Of course," he replied. "What of?" The girl thought of a moment. Then she smiled. "I'd like a map of the perfect place. A place that toes in the sand, wrapped in a warm towel warm." The map maker checked his globe and drew a map of the warmest place he could find with its sunny, sandy beaches. Uh-oh. Loud truck goes toot toot. The girl studied the map, then shook her head. "This is nice," she said, "but it's not the map I need. It should also be an X marks the spot map of a place with spectacular treasures and all the best hiding spots for them. Little saving spots, big surprise spots, and top secret tucking spots." Toes in the sand warm with treasure and hiding spots? The map maker was perplexed. It's a big fine word right there. The map maker looked at the maps on his walls and traced their snake-shaped roads with his fingers. Sounds interesting. Oh. Near his globe was a map filled with castles. Castles have treasures and hiding spots. The map maker told the girl, did she want a map of a land dotted with castles? "Sounds interesting," said the girl, "but it's not the map I need." Imagine making such a beautiful, grand map and somebody says, it's not the one. Whew. Let's find out what the map maker does. Not one to give up, the map maker asked even more questions, and the girl answered them all. "It's a place where I can zip like a dragonfly, and it smells like my birthday and the first day of school, and a Tuesday all at once, where sunshine finds me even if I'm not outside." Now the map maker felt lost. He was certain he did not know any place that was all of these things. He knew he must be searching for a distant land that had not yet been charted. "I think we need to go exploring," the girl suggested. "I do like adventure," said the map maker, and he gathered up some of his favorite maps and his map-making tools and packed his backpack. He was prepared. "Ready?" he said. "Ready," said the girl who hadn't packed a single thing. Some people be like that. Tell me again what we're looking for, said the map maker as he took his new friend's hands. Some people, someplace where sunshine can find us, she whispered, leading him to the library. Together, they pored over books in the glint and gleam of the morning. But it also needs to smell like my birthday, the girl said. Then she closed her book and steered the boy out the door. It's a very loud day outside. And over to the bakery. Before the map maker could even think of another question, the girl had scarfed down her treat and was off. Delicious. And it needs to be a place I can zip, she said. Then she raced the boy to the park. Together they hopped from rock to rock to rock and flew on the swings. The map maker was mystified. Another big fine word. Maybe he should just give up, he thought, as he followed the girl up a path that led to a small house. She opened the front door, tucked her library book into a basket, and added a rock she found in the park to her collection on the windowsill. We have so many rocks in my house, it's not even funny. The parks should ban rocks because my house is going to become a rock fest very soon. The house glowed in the warmth of the firelight. The map maker stopped and looked around. He looked out the window. Wait, he cried. The map maker had collected maps of all the countries in the world and maps of places he had never seen. He made maps of deserts and jungles and of oceans and mountains. But he never made a map of home. The map maker unpacked his supplies and began to sketch. Finally, the girl said, and sat down beside her friend. I tell you, there's got to be a party that I'm missing somewhere because everybody seems to be going loud right to it. Then together they drew their map. It was the one they both needed. The end. So he finally drew a map of home. Ironic though, I would think that would be the first map you draw. But it led to a very touching story. When I read this the first time, I should have recorded my reaction. I think I'm going to have to start doing that, is only reading books for the first time on Ivy's Fortress. Because I tell you, I was so perplexed, like the map maker, when I found out that he was going to make a map of home. And that's what he was missing. And how she was describing home was exactly what home feels like. There's little nooks and crannies of fun adventures in your homes or things you probably shouldn't be getting into. I know there's plenty of those places for me in my home. And then there's also places where you can rest and find treasure or something that you lost a long, long time ago and be able to recollect the memories that you had with that treasure and make it treasure again. So I loved her description of it, and I wish I would have thought of it faster, because the first time I read it, it was almost like I had to stop myself and realize that, you know, it's supposed to be story time. And sometimes my daughter enjoys the reactions, which encourage me to continue to read books online, but on YouTube, it encouraged me to do this because I would react to a book and she would think I had the funniest reaction. And sometimes I read books very silly too, and you'll catch that on this page as well. So also, I would highly suggest checking this book out at your library or purchasing it, because you could learn a little bit about the background of maps. What is a map? And the map words. I'm not going to read that to you. I'm going to leave that to you to decide. But I will read the author's note and a little bit about our author and illustrator. I love maps. This love was inspired by my son, who would spend hours making his own maps, getting lost in all the little details and features, filling notebooks with his elaborate drawings. He'd even tape pieces of paper together to create big maps of the whole world. One day, I called him my map maker, and the idea for this book was born. Do you want to be a map maker too? I love that. I love that her son inspired her, because my daughter inspires Ivy's Fortress. She's been picking up books since I think before she could walk. and she would make up her own stories in her baby gibberish, and it would just warm my heart. And I want to share that feeling of storytelling and adventures in art with everyone, especially children. So I hope that this Ivy's Fortress platform, books like The Boy Who Loved Maps, can do that for you as well. And if not, pass it along to someone it can. All right, a little bit about Kari Allen. Kari Allen is an educator who currently teaches second grade, helping her students fall in love with books, reading them, writing them, and creating them. She has a master's degree in the teaching of writing from Plymouth State University and lives in New Hampshire with her husband and 2 children. The Boy Who Loved Maps is her first picture book. It's pretty awesome for this to be her first picture book. It's amazing. If Kari were to ask the map maker to draw her a map, it would lead her to a lake or an ocean and then to her favorite bookstore. You can find her on KariAllenWrites.com and Instagram and X. G. Brian Carres is the award-winning illustrator of many books for children, including A Hat for Mrs. Goldman by Michelle Edwards and Clever Jack Takes the Cake by Candace Fleming, both of which received 4-star reviews, as well as Neville by Norton Juster. Other titles include Are You Going to Be Good by Carrie Best, a New York Times Best Illustrated book, and A Home on the Bayou, a Boston Globe Horn Book honor book. Brian is also the illustrator of the New York Times best-selling Ivan, a Gorilla's True Story, written by Catherine Applegate, and the Mr. Tiffin's Classroom series, written by Margaret McNamara. You can find him on gbriancarres.com and on Instagram and X. Well, I hope you can find this book at a library near you, because I will say I will check this out again and I will read it several times. I will never forget the feeling it gave me finding out that sometimes we forget about the simplicity of life and the joys that our own homes can bring to us. And it's not until we either rearrange them, get a new home, sell our old home, that we realize that the memories that we have at home are worth keeping for a very long time, a lifetime. And that's why they store them in our brain. All right. Well, I'll catch you next time, friends. Bye. We truly enjoy sharing our adventures with you here at Ivy's Fortress. If you do too, like our videos and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Well, what are you doing? It is your choice, but we'll race you there. Bye.